Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Let's Learn SQL Server series. This is part 5, Inserting Data. So I have a table here, production.location, which has these columns available here. So how we insert a data into this table is we say insert into. You're always going to use this whenever you want to put a data into a table. And then you're going to say the table name. In this case, production.location. Then this part is optional, but it's also as well a good practice to do this. We're able to list out the columns that we want to insert. So in this case, I'm going to say location ID, name, cost rate, availability, and modified date. These column names don't have to be in this exact order we have here. We're able to change the order that we insert this into, which I'll demonstrate for you in a bit. Then we're going to say values. Within here, we're now going to define what data we want to be inserted into production.location. So I'm going to say 61, and 61 corresponds to location ID. My next column is going to be name, and let's say QA. And then my next column is going to be cost rate, and let's say this is going to be $10. I'm assuming it's a rate, so money. Availability, it's decimal, let's say 20, and a modified date. Let's give it today's date. 1/17. Okay. And now we're going to insert our data into here. So SQL Server blew up and then said, cannot insert explicit value for identity column in the table location. Okay, so let's take another look at this table here. So what the identity column means is we have a column here that is called location ID. What the identity means is that this column is going to be automatically incremented. That's the name identity. It's going to be automatically incremented for us whenever we insert our data into it. So we never have to keep track of what's going to be the next number in the sequence. So I'm going to remove location ID here, and I'm going to remove my 61 here. I've messed with this a little bit, so the number that I'm inserting, it may not match yours, but that is absolutely fine. As long as the values are in there, that's all that matters. Let's look at this again. And my number happens to be 66, and like I said, yours, it may be different, which is fine, but all the values are there. Great. So now let's move around these columns a little bit. So let's put name at the end, and let's move availability to the beginning. Great. So because we moved around these columns up top, we also have to move around the columns on the bottom as well. So let's just erase everything here. We'll start from scratch. Availability, which is here, let's say this is going to be $100 or 100. I don't think it's money. And then we have our cost rate, which let's say it's 25. And modified date, let's give it yesterday's date, 16/2017, and name. Let's say this is query. And then we're going to go insert into. Great. And now we have our data in here. So this part here, like I said, is optional. If we erase this, then what that means is whichever order whenever we look at our table, if we just do a star, whichever order we have in here our data in, that means this is going to be the order that we have to insert our data in. To show you, if I don't change how this is ordered, all the values, if I run this, SQL Server says, hey, I can't convert varchar to numeric. So let's take a look at this. What it's trying to do is it's trying to take 100 to convert that to a string. And by nature, a SQL Server cannot do that implicitly. You can do it explicitly, which we'll talk about later on. So without getting too technical, let's just erase this, and then we'll start from scratch. Let's put in here a name. Let's say look over product, and cost rate, let's say 50, availability 125, and modified date, let's make it the beginning of this year. Let me run. Oops. And still that works. Let's make sure that works. So we have look over product, 50, 125, and then we have our date. So that is how you insert a data into a table. The last thing I wanted to show you would be how to, let's say that you wanted to insert into this table multiple records. You don't want to have to keep on changing this. You want to be able to just insert into them as just like a batch. Like if you want to insert into here 2 records. So let's say look over product again. This is going to cost substantially more money. And then after here, we put a comma. And then we open up and close our parentheses again. And I just like to have it lined up. It just makes it look a little bit better. Then final looking over product. We want to be sure our products are good. And this is going to cost, again, substantially more. And availability, let's say 10. And let's make this from last year. So now, when we run this, you're going to see a different message here on the bottom. Now you see 2 records affected. So now when we go back here, now we see not only did we insert look over product again, but we also inserted final looking over products. So that is how you insert a data into SQL Server. If you like this video, please comment and subscribe and like. If you have any questions at all about this video, if you have any recommendations for future videos, I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear how I'm doing. If you like things or don't like things, please let me know. Well, thank you.